What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rob. This is my channel, Becoming Rob. Today I'm going to talk about Tom Brady. So stick around. I'm glad you're here with me. Just a few things before I start. This is Becoming Rob. My name is Rob. I am coming to you live because I do not have time to edit any videos. I'm just starting out, and so um, I would just want to come to you, give you my thoughts, and see if we can have a good time. My channel is all about becoming the best version of myself. So that is in the areas of faith, finance, freedom, fitness. Those are the things that I like to focus on, and this is what this channel is about. It's going to be all about me and becoming the best version of myself. Today we're going to be talking about Tom Brady. Um, some of you may have heard Tom Brady looks like he's heading for a divorce. Some of you may be asking, who is Tom Brady? Right. Everybody knows Tom Brady. Tom Brady is what is it? 6-time or 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he has been married. This is actually his second wife, supermodel Gisele Bundchen. Okay, they have been married for most of his career, several kids, and they are headed for a divorce. Um, what does this mean? Let's dive into it a little bit as we let's look at the specific reasons that everyone's speculating. There's a few stories. I'll read a little bit here on what people are saying as far as Tom Brady and Gisele and their divorce, and then let's see what we can learn. I want to give some advice to uh, Tom and Gisele. Let's see. This is from People Magazine. Shout out to People Magazine because, this is from them. I'm going to read from their article. It says Gisele has hired a divorce lawyer following months of tension between her and her longtime husband, Tom Brady, sources confirm to People. A source tells People that Brady is trying to figure out what to do after Bunchen hired a lawyer and is looking for one himself. Representatives for Bunchen and Brady did not respond to People's request for a comment. All right, let's move forward a little bit here. Sources previously told People that a rift between Tom Brady, 45, and Gisele, 42, began in part when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback decided to return to the NFL earlier this year after a brief 40-day retirement. Bunchen and Brady share two children, son Benjamin Rain, 12, and their daughter Vivian, along with Brady's son John Edward, that's from his previous marriage. Okay, so you get a sort of a synopsis there. We see Tom Brady and his wife Gisele Bundchen seem to be separating. I believe, listen, every marriage has several problems. So it's not only this problem of um, Tom Brady, after playing 20 something years, wanting to retire, his wife wanting him to retire, and then he retiring. You can imagine how um, happy she was to have him around more often on a full-time basis. And then after 40 days, Tom Brady deciding that he is going to go back and continue playing at least one more year. So you can imagine how upsetting and disappointing that was to her. But I want to focus on Tom Brady here, and just think about what Tom Brady is going through. If you don't know, I played college football at the University of San Diego, and I played for a pretty famous head coach there. His name was Jim Harbaugh. He is now the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. Shout out to University of Michigan. Shout out to Coach Harbaugh. Um, I played for Coach Harbaugh there, and I can understand the drive for competition, the drive for the camaraderie with all of your brothers on the football team. Any of you who ever played any kind of sports can probably identify with that. There is nothing like the the bond that you feel with people who you have struggled with, people who you have, as they said, have shed blood, sweat, and tears with, people who have seen you running and lifting and struggling to become uh, as good as you can be. And I was just a mediocre player at the University of San Diego. Do not go look up my stats. There's not very many there. Um, but I was just a mediocre player. But when I remember when I finished playing, when I played my last game, it is such a heavy loss. You feel like, man, this is such a it's been such a permanent part of my life for so many years, and all of the developing years into my adulthood, I was playing football, connecting with those brothers on the football field, and all of a sudden, in one day, boom, it's gone. And I did not have the choice to go back to it. But you could imagine, here it is, Tom Brady at the highest level of that camaraderie, the highest level of that teamwork. And he's very good at it. One of the best. Many would say he's the best, very good at it, one of the best. And it's coming time for him to let it go. Eventually his body will not allow him to continue to go ahead and do it. And so it's coming time for him to let it go. But he's still good at it. And he's so good that I believe this last year the players around the league voted him as the best player in the league. And so here it is. He's voted as the best player in the league, one of the best players, one of the best quarterbacks. He is one of the best to ever do what he is doing. He has squeezed every piece of potential out of his body and out of his career. And here he is at the age of 45 going for another season. And it seems like he's moving toward losing his wife and his family. Now, what do you think? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that he should be his wife should support him and continue to support him no matter what? He's the best at what he's doing. This so many women want a high producing, highly productive, well accomplished man. And Giselle has one of the most accomplished, one of the most driven, one of the most ambitious. But I think what we see is this is a two-sided coin. So the first thing I think of is it matters about the context. What did Tom Brady promise to his wife during those 40 days of retirement? What did he promise to his wife? Because if he did promise his wife that this is it, he's done, then I would say, he should have stayed retired. He should have kept his promise, even though he's the greatest, even though he could continue to do more. He not only has listen. He's done so much, and some people would say he's done it all. But again, he might still have that itch to compete, and listen, this is the only place where he can scratch that itch. He might have that itch to be around the brothers. This is the only place where he can scratch that itch. But if he promised Giselle that he was going to retire, then I would say that he should have stayed retired. So what? So it matters about the context. So I don't know the context. I don't know, but um, it matters about what they have talked about in the background. But there's something about men in general. We have this drive to compete. We have this drive to uh, continue to go forward and to do more, to accomplish more. And I can see Tom Brady has that drive, but we also have this responsibility to our families. And I know that every man that's listening, that's going to listen to this, can probably identify with this. And this is the part where I kind of reflect on it, and I'm like, well, how can I become, how can I become better by what I'm seeing here with Tom Brady and Gisele? Um, we as men naturally have these two competing factions within ourselves. We should have this drive to want to go and do more. It is actually that ambition, that sense of accomplishment, that drive to do more. Oftentimes, that is what uh, attracts the women we love. Your girl, your woman, your partner loves the when you accomplish things. She loves to see you go out and do and become the best version of yourself. Probably, if I was to bet any money, the things that you do that you are good at, that you have accomplished, are the things that attract her to you. Now, if you're like me, you've attracted a beautiful woman. You've attracted a woman that you want to be with. And now, as a result of that attraction, you find yourself in a serious committed relationship, or you're married like I am, and I have two kids. This is a new set of responsibilities, a set of responsibilities that she is very concerned about. This new set of responsibilities is probably her priority. It's your priority too, but you still have the drive, and the drive is what brings the providence. It brings the food, the money, the resource for the family. And so you have to go out, you have to accomplish, you have to go and do so that you can take care of this new responsibility. But I always say this: your family needs two things. They need the production, and they need your presence. And so every man who has a family is caught in this balance. I have to be absent to get the production. For most of us, maybe some of you work at home, or maybe some of you own a business, or own an online business that allows you the flexibility to be with your family. But for the average everyday, most people, even if you're above average, even very most high value men, as the terminology goes, have to leave the home to go and get that production, to get that providence, and they bring those resources back to the home. But all of those moments where they are out producing, they cannot provide their presence. And this is what Tom Brady is going through. This is what Gisele is going through. She has a plenty of her own money, being a international model, and Tom have built a pool of resources, more than they can ever spend, more than any of their children could ever spend. She's asking for Tom's presence. But Tom, like a man, he still has that drive. What Tom has to do, what you and I have to do, if we were in that position, number one is you have to communicate. Again, if you're saying you're going to retire, you're saying you're going to sacrifice whatever it is you're doing, so that you could be with your family, then you should do that. Number two, if when you're communicating, you have to talk and continue to talk until both of you have understanding. You have to communicate where you're at, what you feel, so that your wife, your partner, can understand that. I remember I went through something similar. So this idea of balance. How can I provide but yet be present with my family? We are in the midst of looking for a new car. Okay, we have one car right now, and we're in the midst of looking for a new car. And I was talking to my wife, and I was saying to her, because listen, my wife is the type of wife who wants me around. She desires my presence. And so I was talking to her, and then I had some ideas of making some more money so that we can get a car. And then I said, you know, listen, baby, I love you. And most of the time, what I do is I go to work and I come home. I'm a 9 to 5 guy because, again, I have a good job and my wife desires my presence. So I usually come straight home, not too many different things to do. And I said, well, I want to make some more money, so that you can buy the car that you want to buy. I was like, but you're going to have to allow me to leave the house. Now this is a double whammy because this is during the time where there's still lockdowns for COVID as well. So she's worried about that, and again she wants me around, and so I said, something has to give. Either the type of car or whatever we're shopping for, we have to sacrifice on that end, or I can help you get exactly what you want in terms of a car, but then there's going to have to be a sacrifice of time. I'm going to need to maybe do more on the job, work a little more time. There's some other ideas that I have of doing things that can help us make money, but it's going to take my time. I'm not going to be able to give my presence in those moments. The I'm going to be a little bit absent for more provision, a little bit absent for more resource. And so we had that conversation, and I know that there's so many men out there who are having that conversation with the woman they love. Um, where we have this desire to go and do and be and become. Uh, Yet our families are desiring our presence. Um, this it's a funny thing where you have these responsibilities, and oftentimes, especially in men's life, these responsibilities come into a place where they start to war with one another, compete with one another, and this is definitely one of those areas. Now, so that's what I would say if I was talking to Tom. I'm like, Tom, well, what's the context here, and eventually, like Tom's gonna have to, it's gonna have to stop playing, and so, um, and then you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? See, I know so many, especially that and I watch a lot of manosphere / red pill content, and I know that sometimes that can be kind of extreme, and you say, "Oh, he's the best ever." Uh, oh, well, why won't she support him? And I think that sometimes that can be a little naive. Yes, she should support him, but I would say yes, she has been supporting him. See, I believe that Giselle sees something that many people don't see, and that is, Tom. He puts on this. I don't want to call it a facade, but he's putting on the show, the facade that he's got it. He's got it together. He understands the game. He understands his position. He understands his role and what he has to do, and he knows how to win. He has the whole TB12 method where he's stretching and staying flexible. So that's gonna help his body and help his longevity in the sport. However, Gisele sees something that we don't see, and that is the toll that football really takes on Tom Brady's body. I'm sure she sees him limp into the house, barely be able to lay down and get any rest. I'm sure she sees the pain pills, right? The inflammation pills that he has to take. I'm sure she's seen him probably take the cortisone shot for pain in a given area. Just she's seen the struggle of all it takes to get back out on the field for the next Sunday, and she's probably tired of seeing that. Could you imagine women who have been, married to boxers or married to MMA fighters? It is a hard thing. The to see uh, the man you love get hurt, but it's also an attractive thing, right? It's probably the thing that attracted her to, right? The idea that uh, this man is an athlete. It's attractive. He's tall. He's in shape, or might be strong when you talk about MMA fighters. That's attractive to women. But the flip side is that if you fall in love with a man like that, um, you're it's hard to see that man get hurt. And so Gisele sees that, and she sees a solution to the man she loves being hurt, and that it's time for him to retire. And so I sympathize with her in that capacity. But now here's the thing: as I come to the end, well, so uh, that's kind of like the advice I would give to Tom Brady. Is like, if you made promises, you need to keep them, and you need to think about not only provision, which I don't even think Tom Brady's even thinking about provision at this moment. Tom Brady's thinking more about probably more about the camaraderie, the drive to compete, the goal to be the best ever. Um, Eventually, all of his writing in the record books will be done, whether this year, next year, or the year after that. And the responsibility for your family is still going to be there. You may find yourself with a drive to be present with your family, but it might have a wholly different dynamic if you are divorced. So I would tell Tom to consider both responsibilities: the drive for more, the drive for legacy, and the need for presence. I would tell Gisele, don't do it. Don't do it, Gisele, because you're right on the cusp of what you want. He's going to be retired, and he'll be there, and he'll probably find another pursuit. But um, Tom Brady, from all accounts, I can tell, I don't know what's going on in the background. Tom Brady's a good dad. See, and then now this taking me to some other things, because like Tom Brady, yes, he has the provision to where he can be with he can have more presence with his family, and maybe you feel like he should. Um, but there's so many hardworking men who work Tom Brady like hours for not Tom Brady money, and so they can't be as present with their uh, children and with their family. But those are good fathers as well. Why? Because they're present when they can be, and they break their back so that their family can have the provision they need. And so men are all over this spectrum, but those like myself who earn a good income, and those like Tom Brady, this kind of comes with the territory. Your wife, The woman you love is always going to desire your presence. Your kids need your presence. And surely they will understand that there are moments where dad is doing the activity that it takes to bring in provision. They need to understand that he is not around because he is working, bringing in provision. But they also need to understand that dad desires to be present with them. And so that's what I take from this moment with Tom and Gisele. Let me know your thoughts. Go ahead and leave them down there in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe right now. We're at 0 subscribers. You are in on the base level here on at Becoming Rob. Go ahead and subscribe. Help the channel grow. I appreciate you spending the time with me. I'm doing this every day, 5:30 a.m. on the West Coast. That's every day, Monday through Friday. So today's Friday. I'll see you Monday again on Becoming Rob.